Hey guys, welcome back to the intersection of Jesus and culture. I am your host, Mel Flanagan, and I look forward to speaking with you about the many different ways that we can see and experience Jesus in the world we live in. Whether it's through things that we see, all about training those eye gates, right? And things we see, whether it's movies, TV shows, scrolling on social media, or maybe it's things that we hear, the birds chirping, through conversations with others, through songs on the radio, right? Where we get different messages that can remind us of Jesus' presence in our life, right? So guys, today's message came to me a couple weeks ago. You see, I was on this busy week. As I told you guys, yes, I am a mom, I'm a wife, but outside of that, I'm also a business owner. So this particular week in question, I had a pop-up shop I was getting ready for. I also had my godson's prom where I was doing the balloon arrangements for. So I had a lot of events that week. I had orders to fulfill as well. And it was just like I had things on things on things on things on things. And I remember saying, look, my body is just tired. As I also mentioned, I have an autoimmune condition that, healing's coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. But when it comes and I get that fatigue kind of just takes everything out of me, right? So I was like, okay, God, here's my schedule. I have all of these things planned, but I don't have any energy. What do? I don't know, right? And as I'm talking to him, this song came to my mind. In case you're like, Mel, what song are you talking about? If you couldn't tell from the music playing in the background, it is Alicia Keys' Superwoman song, right? So basically, I brought this message up, and I'm glad that he gave me that song a couple weeks ago, because in a couple of days, we will be celebrating Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to the mommies, the aunties, the spiritual moms, to all of the female, the mentors, anybody who's had a motherly kind of role in our life. Maybe you're the big sisters, right? I don't want to exclude anyone, right? So happy Mother's Day to you. So as women, we are multitaskers in our own relationships. Often we're the glue that holds it together in the different groups that we belong to. We often juggle caregiving, also our schedule, our partner's schedule, our kids' schedule, work, cleaning the house, cooking, cleaning, you name it, laundry, all kinds of stuff, right? All while managing to look somewhat together. We often sacrifice our needs and even our rest just to make sure those entrusted to us are taken care of, right? Sounds familiar? We're the unsung heroes, the ones who walk around with this invisible S on our chest, as Alicia Keys singing the song. She says, even when I'm a mess, I put an S on my chest. Oh yes, I'm a superwoman, right? And sure, we look good on the outside, but often inwardly, we are barely keeping it together. Kind of reminds me of a story in scripture that I read. You see, it was a story about these two sisters, Martha and Mary, right? And so they were having this dinner party come to their house. And guys, guess who was coming to the party? Jesus was actually coming to the party. So you have Mary, she's there chilling. Well, you got Martha, she's like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta get this together, I gotta make sure everything's perfect, right? All while she's making all these preparations, the guests are arriving, and she's like, well, where's Mary? We got this to do, I gotta clean this, I gotta finish cooking this bread, I gotta do all these things, well, where is Mary? And then she goes and she finds Mary just sitting at Jesus' feet. Now pause. I don't know about you, but don't you hate when you're like super duper busy, right? And you could be juggling a lot of things, and then someone comes along and see you doing it, and instead of them saying, hey, can I help you? You need help? They just let you do it, right? Frustrating. And that's how Martha felt. So you can imagine the anger on her face, like, really, Mary? That's what you're doing? So she did what we all should do. She took her frustrations to Jesus. She's like, hey, Lord, don't you care that I'm doing all this? I know you see me doing all of this, and you see her sitting here. Aren't you going to do something about this? This ain't right. You need to talk to Mary. She need to get up and start working, right? But his response wasn't exactly what she was hoping he would do. His response was pretty much, Martha, girl, you worried about all of these things. But guess what? Mary is doing what she should be doing, right? And that is abiding and listening to me and to my teaching. Now, every time I read this story, I always think of the airplane speech. You know the airplane speech, right? The one where the plane is getting ready to take off and you're taxiing down the runway, and then the stewardess kind of gets on the mic and say, hey, or she's walking down the aisle, or he's walking down the aisle. And they're like, if this plane is going down, right, oxygen masks are going to fall down from the ceiling. I want you guys to put one on yourself first before you put it on your kids or any elderly or disabled people that may be sitting near you. But to put the oxygen mask on yourself, right? And it's basically so you can care for yourself before you can care for others. So a lot of times when I'm overwhelmed, and one of the biggest advice that I like to give but I don't follow is, hey, oxygen mask time, which in other words means self-care time. Put that mask on you, because let's be honest, none of us can pour from an empty cup. If we're on E ourselves, how can we be of any use to those around us, right? So we have to practice that self-care. And some of you may be listening and saying, no, self-care, that sounds kind of selfish. Like, even with that speech, that sounds selfish. Why wouldn't you put the mask on the baby and that person first? Try saving somebody if you can't breathe yourself, right? Doesn't make sense. So basically, I encourage you guys this Mother's Day and moving forward to take the cape off, right? Let it go. Stop trying to conquer the whole world while inwardly you're suffering. Tend to you, right? Let go of the Martha mentality. Become more of a Mary. Just abide at God's feet. Rest in Him. Allow Him to strengthen you. And guess what? When He strengthens you, you'll be able to be there for all of the other people that He's placed in your life. Guys, God even rested. He is in the Bible, so it shows us that it's an example for us to follow. If God rested and He's able to create the whole world and everything in it, so shall we, right? Who are we to not rest? When we're not honoring that rest, we're being disobedient. So guys, we weren't meant to carry everything on our own. We were meant to give it to Jesus. You know, in 1 Peter 5:7, it says to cast all our cares on Him because He cares for us, right? God cares for us. He cares about our schedule. He cares about the things we're going through. He cares about the people we're doing it for, right? Cast it on Him. Ask Him, Lord, give me strength. Help me to get through this, that, and the other. Show me a way to do it where I won't burn out. Give me energy, increase my energy for the journey, right? Matthew 11:28 through 30 tells us to come to me. This is Jesus speaking. Jesus is saying, come to me, all of you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest, right? He's saying, take my yoke. And if you're like, Mel, what is a yoke? Back in the day, like to carry a heavy load, you would put like this wooden thing, this wooden beam, like on animals, right? And it would have whatever the load was on the side of it, so that way the animals can kind of carry it through, and it was kind of like a stable force where it can handle the weight, right? So guys, God is telling us to take His yoke, right? To give our problems to Him, to let Him carry that load for us, right? He says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and I'm humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Rest. Doesn't that sound good? Guys, He says, for His yoke is easy and His burden is light. If we exchange our yoke for His yoke is lighter. We can handle that load, because guess what? We're not carrying it ourselves. He's right up under there with us, carrying it for us, right? So this is an invitation from Jesus to exchange our heavy, heavy burdens for a partnership with Him. It's inviting Him into the mess with us, inviting Him into the load with us, as I just said. Guys, with that being said, this is the end of another episode of the Intersection of Jesus and Culture. And as with every episode, you know I have to leave you with a B statement. And guess what? Today is no different. So today's B statement is be reliant. Not self-reliant. Self-reliant is actually a good attribute, but be reliant. Be reliant on God. We can't be all reliant on self, right? Now, if it's like being self-reliant to get a test done, okay, I get that. But we need to be reliant more than anything on God. Be reliant on Jesus, right? Clinging to him, having that relationship with him, asking him to show you how to do the mundane. Commit your schedules to him, right? We have these tasks, we have these things. Okay, God, here it is. Show me what you want me to do with it. Show me what I can do, what I can control to do. Show me what needs to go, right? Because a lot of times we put stuff on our schedule. We say yes on it all the times when we should say no, right? God, what should I be saying no to today, right? Give that to him. Trust him, right? All right, guys, with that being said, this is the end of another episode of the Intersection of Jesus and Culture, and I hope to see you soon. If this video blessed you, feel free to share it with your friends, to like and also comment, as I'll be sure to respond to you. All righty, guys, enjoy this beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.